Um, Still balding, and yesterday I didn't mean to stop recording. The phone just ran out of space. Um, Golly. Still balding. I got quite the surprise, don't you worry. Quite the surprise. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Quite the surprise. You sure are gonna love it. I feel like after those couple days of wearing a hat, I need to like get that hat back, and my eyes are already sore. That fudging influence again. I mean, at least I hope you get like a fitness done. You know, something that sinks into this guy. At least I hope so. Yeah. Could God be so cool to only let me receive that? Or would God be so cool to like show me? I don't know, I guess I just stream. I forgot my headphones. Yeah, I forgot them. They're somewhere. So I had to have gone to bed, but I woke up again and fried myself. Like I won't exactly say 100% on what I saw, but like a game again, it seems like people want to play. And this game gets a whole lot scarier. But hey, golly. Some of the stuff I saw was like 20 mil for infidelity. That's like a drop in the bucket, right? Like where you're at. Like that's easy peasy. I'm sure there's like clauses and fine prints and stuff like that. I mean, how do contracts even work? Especially like after I've looked at it. Like it would seem like, golly, a lot of the contracts are just like, you better hope they honor it. I mean, this is after me putting myself in that kind of scenario, like those shoes. Like a lot of these contracts wouldn't work with the proof I carry, with the theories I have. They just wouldn't work. You're missing tons of information. Tons of info. And I mean, it's not like I'm trying to like slow roll this either. I'm not. I mean, the influence just came to like a tipping point. You know, the last influential thing to break the mammal's back. And I'm getting over it slowly. Like I'm sure any other person would. But I guess telling my story is also very helpful. Cause shit, once I get pissed enough to just really not sleep, I think I might be going in that brain of yours and rummaging. And again, I don't want to like, sorry, you know, I'm just looking for my things. Yeah, maybe you took them for a bit, but obviously I'm after them, especially if I'm rummaging. I mean, I hope you like get locked in first person. Shit. That's like being stuck in certain places, not being able to truly explore. Dang, I hit those nodes like quick. Like I should have never stopped talking. Like the moment I stopped talking, like the hands really started to move quick. The ending to last video was kind of pure. Like the ending of the last video, like that was almost seconds from like not being done, you know? That was the ending to last video. Like I was laughing to myself after that. Like you guys must have really been playing with time, huh? But again, that's like looking for a coincidence and a coincidence again. They just keep coming. But it is fun to observe and view. I mean, I'm at the point where the mansion might seem like the best idea if nothing else works out. And that's not like I want that. Or like I would just be that like you know, like shoulder, ear. It would just be an energy exchange sort of thing. I don't even know how I went to bed this morning though. Like I was super wide-eyed. I must have went to bed with my eyes open or something. Or I kept tossing and turning. It's rough, it's brutal. Like 1 minute on the right side and then I'm already feeling something spiritual and I gotta flip left. And then 30 seconds or even instantaneously on the left side I'm already feeling something again, so I gotta flip back to the right. And then I'm doing this, you know, back and forth thing until I'm basically forgetting. And I mean, it's gnarly. Nothing like, you know, having to just sink yourself into something and sleep. I don't know. But I sure was tossing and turning until I forgot everything. You know, like a washing machine effect. I'm on the spin cycle until I'm ready to go in the dryer. Good old alligator rolls. I don't really sleep on my back and I don't really sleep on my stomach. So I'm just sleeping on my side. I mean, and like this is for a guy, you know. Like, you know, when you tuck your, you know, knees up, you know, you sort of go into a little ball. You know, everything in your midsection sort of gets sucked into yourself, if that makes sense. So even after like doing that sort of boundary and protection, there's still a lot of spiritual action. Um, but it is quite the thing having to roll, just to go to sleep. And it's my body reacting to something, obviously. But like mentally, I'm pissed off at it. So it's like it's kind of like the laser thing again, if that makes sense. But it's super C capitalized, if that makes more sense. But just tossing, turning, tossing, turning, just to forget about it, it's too much. Way too much. And like I had the dream about crazy amounts of pleasure and pain. But like this sort of thing is just, it's annoying. Like it feels like technology. Like it doesn't feel, I mean, it does have its, but it sure does feel like enhanced. I mean, maybe turning my body into some sort of receiver. But like I said, like when I'm trying to shut that signal off, and it just it's always been progressively getting worse. Like since 6, 7, 8, however many 6, 7 years ago, it's been progressively getting worse. Um, Worse and better. But like saying both of those things, they both have their double edge. I don't know. It's been very odd. But I did get put to sleep this morning. There was some weird insta dreams. I don't remember those. But some weird insta dreams where I'm closing my eyes and immediately going into a dream. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be in like a fog. Like I won't be thinking about anything like spiritual wise. And then it'll just hit me like a truck. Like honestly, I don't know. Definitely, should I say messed up? I mean, it's definitely relaying a message. It's definitely getting one point across. Uh, Life. Trials, tests, tribulations. This whole gauntlet here. I don't know, it's funny. I'll still be waiting for the technology releases though. if they ever get released out. I mean, that's again like a sport that I haven't played yet. It might not be for me in this life. You know, this life, since it is my first one, this might just be a journey where I do, you know, take all of my accumulated knowledge onto the next one. Especially like seeing how I've been leveling up my mind and consciousness. It might just work like that. And like talking about packaging myself up in the word. Like I'll be here and there, and then just a different kind of me. Like the same kind of me, but you know, older. Maybe having been stepped through some of the experiences you've already done. I don't know, I find it amusing a little bit. But like I said, I think I'm just gonna have to get super pissed where I'm just like, I'm just pissed at sleeping. I'm pissed at, I'm thinking. I'm pissed at the hive consciousness. And like that was me when I was fuming in bed. I should have just gotten up because I mean that's where I'm at. You know, I just submit to the spiritual stuff and it puts me to sleep. Where I just need to like lay down in bed for maybe like a minute or two and then just get right back up and do something else. Or at least I need to try it instead of just, you know, going night night with the spiritual. Uh, I was gonna say violence. Those were only the times I got hit over the noggin. I mean, I'm hoping praying that doesn't happen live. I mean, that would really be bullying someone up. Like that would really be pointing and just laughing and making your own abusive killing sport for fun. But that would be like rich people stuff. And some of them, I don't know, you might be able to be poor and like hobo, like do that sort of exploring. But like that's like the levels of life. There was that one actor that was homeless, wasn't she? I know she probably got caught up in the drugs. Um, that was like an IG read. Um, but you know, interesting enough. Interesting. I mean, sorry to be talking about what I have to be influential with. Once the influence has already stained me, uh, lots. You know, I'm still trying to weed through this brain of mine to really find out what's mine and not like tampered with, sort of thing. You know, peed on by somebody else. Ay, ay, ay. Only 20 minutes. Back to clicking this elf again. I easily forget. Last night, those 7 hours flew by quick. Talk about time missing. I shouldn't have gone off. It took way too long to upload the video. I need to be uploading and then start recording again, and just let it do its thing. Thanks, YouTube. I've been in the shadows lurking for some time. I've had quite the features on some YouTubers. Making money off of my RP. Even the streamers. Hey, but that's their thing, though, right? Like I said, I've been lurking in the shadows for a long time. God bless. I even found my shadow that was lurking in the shadows, brought him back. Thanks for the interruption of that, like, long ago. Would it only not be possible without? I could only imagine. Or wait, maybe if there's a big potential, maybe you were just, drawing things out. Dang. Dag nabbit. You might be messing around with the actual, like, satin. I mean, but that's only if, you take these roles and have accountability with them. Which I do. And I'm, as the theory proves, like sourdough. But I'm a fan of the sour things. I think, honestly, the green was the first to show, and not purple. I'm pretty sure it was green and then purple. Bile. And it was right after each other. Bing, bang. So I know, like I said, was fasting. But I know, like, if I ate something, then that would have had to been a good combination of a something. A nice, good smoothie mix. Hey. I don't know what my body does. Sweet like an ocean. Not salty like a teen. Hey, thanks for raising my tea up. Ay. Talk about like really boosting, launching, slowly trickling in. I don't know. I bet doing a test would be interesting. Because, I mean, I'm like thinking, how much do I need? Hey, it is what it is. I'm just learning. Still. You can't exactly fault me for that, especially when you know a lot about. And I can't fault you for that either. And I'm obviously over here taking a different path. Maybe this path leads to something. Or maybe I'm just going to get lost on all these red herrings and really sauce myself up in the mud. It's good and bad. Oh, I was thinking about my equilibrium again. I don't know, it was weird. Been doing some weird like flips, like I'm somersaulting. But like there was this one time where I was like, I was either upside down or laying down on my back. But then it was like my imagination got flattened, like if the world was flat. And like that felt so weird. Because that was like me in a dream, like entering something physical. But it was weird because I was first somersaulting and then just getting flattened out like a pancake. Something in my body was leveling up. Ah, how time can easily just run away from us. Ah, just another day living. Ah, I'm already super set with it. Ah, like being on Black Friday and getting trampled. Crap, that would, ah. But like being in the consciousness and it's just like whoever grabs it, says it, does it first. Gosh. It's an interesting sort of fresh start we're playing here. Um, I don't know. It seems like it took a while. I got 2 seeds, guys. So I was really close then. That's 28 minutes I just had to put in. Less than that, really. But that's 50 mil. That's like a milestone. Heck yeah. I'm just gonna sit here clicking the rest of the day, all night. I mean, it's almost 12, but it feels good today. I think it was supposed to be a really hot day though. Like getting into like the 110s, 111s. Was that today? Or was that yesterday? I need to actually start not sleeping so I can keep track of the days better. I mean, talk about really like being confused in the mind. I mean, fudge. I can only imagine. I'm sure there are people that, you know, don't necessarily like to sleep and they have a little routine that they do. And they probably feel good. But like I said, it's probably like, you know, talk about this stuff, you think about this stuff, um, you know, it would make sense to me that you just ignore, especially since we have all these options. Ooh, that also might stress out the body as well. I'm thinking about this. But like with me and asthma and going through that, like hot damn. Like talking about bringing miracles right out the motherfucking bag. How cringe is this? How cringe. And I like, you rearrange words and stuff. I see it, asthma. I see it. Rearrange letters. I mean, I see it. But talk about ay ay ay. Ay ay ay. I mean, let me keep holding back for everyone. Golly. I don't want that to be like contagious. Like want to do a stamina check or something. Sorry. Ay ay ay. I don't normally laugh this much, and I mean sometimes I've been laughing to myself a lot more often than not, especially since I've been enjoying the alone time. I'm finding peace of mind in the insane half of it. And it's only insane because I stumble upon jokes that are like not 100% for me, but when I'm thinking about it in the head and I'm not writing it down, then it's like it is what it is. It is what it is. Like making myself a good little farmer. Being able to go down, stay down, and feel that area out to its max, and still be comfortable in it. I can only imagine. Geez, this is an odd design. But like I said, I've taken the path I'm on. Lighting up behind my eyes and seeing some of those things, that was like a reality check for me. I mean, not to say I wasn't ready to see that stuff, but like that's like instant animations. That's like instant in the brain working quick. But I wonder how I hooked up to that. Um, I think I have a few things, but that's always been like the magic I've discovered. Like when I've cracked something new that reality doesn't exactly agree with. I always have a few options to go with. A few like how tos. I mean, which is good, but it also, feels like still like doing a different sort of dowsing technique here, dowsing the mind. Hello, mind dowser. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know, being hooked up with, I thought it was my higher self that flew down to help. Back in the apartments. Being hooked back up with that was like a rude awakening in itself. Like I was watching down the whole time. But it made me feel like everyone's got that same setup. But I was in a place deep in the mind with again technology basically turned on. I think I was using some notes at that point. I know I was still solo, even if I was sending messages out. Yeah, that was in the point where I could just close my eyes and go to sleep, just instantly, like how my pops does it. Like literally, like hit the bed and out like a light. But that was even like midday. The one time I woke up though, I don't know what time I woke up, but it seemed early. It was before the sun was rising, but wasn't too before the sun was rising because maybe like an hour or two later, like it was already rising up. But it was definitely in some sort of hour. And that was completely unplanned, but it was also cringe. But it was the first one. Like I thought to myself when waking up and doing this, at first I just was bawling out crying. Talking out loud too, talking about how long. Like that was some serious emotional dream baggage that I was carrying. But then after that whole thing, like I said, it felt like I got ditched. Even with the UFO folly overhead. It's interesting because what I'm doing in the mind, it's everyone can do this, and they could easily like pinch, like and kink, like a hose, you know. But then like the YouTube video back in February, that's what I felt like what was happening. You know, kinking and pinching the mind, but then doing my own little backup and showing I'm a lot more consciousness, like because I was feeling that area. And I wasn't just doing it on autopilot, just getting lucky, just speaking and randomly falling upon that. Even if it was very coincidental, there was no pyrotechnics involved. It was all jokes in the mind. But if we're talking about building a chemical that does sort of, do that in a way, metaphorically, we're getting something here. We're going places. And it would seem like for the first time. I mean, because I've done my own self-studies on other people's theories and research and what they think. But then, once I start speaking, we all start unlocking what we know now. Once I start throwing what I know is concrete down. I think that dam's still curing too. That's a bad thing to bring in. That's an interesting thing. Like, wow, what a magnificent build. And me joking about that was just watching Hopper. And me still, it's interesting going to Arizona on the way back. We can see the lake on the right side. So it's like it's really interesting. And my dad was telling me like, um, when the lake was a lot, you know, when it wasn't as dry, you could really see the lake on that side. He was talking about like a whole way to get down there and everything. I'm sure it's still there, but it's like interesting. It almost looks like a mirage coming back. But you know it's water because there's a little bit of like a bluish, not sky, not see through like a mirage would be, like invisible like reflections. Plus, there's not much time to view it, but you know you can definitely view it. But when going on the highway back, not much time to look at it. And it's interesting, me talking about like, well, what would happen if we just remove the dam? And it's honestly such an interesting view, especially being able to see the lake coming back, because you really get to see like the whole just carving out of land. Honestly, some of those mountains look like dinosaurs to me. Like I could just see the whole scheme. Like they look like fossilized bones. Potentially, who knows? But it's really interesting landscape down going down that area for sure. That's just me painting in my mind again as well, but still. And some conspiracies to help. But I can totally see like, oh, interesting. What if I could imagine that? Especially how some of them are just shaped. Like, golly, you got to take a drive. You got to take a drive. I mean, if you fly over it, what are you gonna see? Oh, it's a 1D flat land again. Oh my goodness, let me start my own theory. This is the best. Yeah. Minecrafting. Uh, it's it's funny. Minecraft's a good game. Great game. Especially for a one-time purchaser. Heck yeah. Heck to the yeah, yeah. I'm glad we got those 2 seeds. Now I'm not too worried about getting seeds. Although we need to see more seeds. It's 12 and I'm already feeling the heat. Ooh, as the wind blows into me. It's not too bad, but it's like I got my water set up. That water is still kind of, and it's a frozen bottle, but it's already melting quick. The first bottle was room temperature, and it's like, so it still feels about the same. I took a shower, so I'm not immediately sweating being out here. Let me try and fix that. That's at 10%. It's not good. 10%. Alright, 11%. It's charging again. I didn't realize it wasn't done. I need to get the new one I got. That's just me like fudge. Everything I look at just takes like, I gotta get focused here, And I mean, me getting focused is just talking and doing something to occupy my time. I mean, I got a lot to say. And a lot of it I've just put away, because I haven't even been wanting to do this. Interesting life we're living. That's all I know. That's it. Very interesting choices I've seen. Quite the decision making. Not to put any guilt anywhere. I also just don't want to run from the truth. Mine as well. And I can blame the influence all I want. But like I said, mine as well. And I like that people are starting to more focus now on mental health. Like, we need it now more than ever. I mean, I joke about how I could have been, really done in at the mental health hospital, even though I did. But that still happens on a daily basis. So that was like priming, that was like, seeing me as an oven and just lighting the pilot again. I mean, that was... I'm going to stick to the surface stuff still. Like when I said reignite and rain, I mean, fudge. Yeah, on the surface it's easy and you see, but if you get lost in the sauce, then you're going to be thinking. You're not going to do that on autopilot. You're not going to think of that as reignite. You're going to be like rain night, like I said. I mean, it's okay to not take apart the words, and I'm sure it would be beneficial for some. I'm sure, because I didn't do this. I didn't do this until I turned around 21. And then just one day I'm waking up thinking, well, look at this language that we're using, reading, writing, speaking. And it all started tumbling and crumbling down. Shattered, broke, busted. No joke. And it's still tough trying to repair it. I mean, I can even joke about talking about like I forget like what it was. That was still me in my infant years, but oh, the numbers, we're not going to have enough. The computers, they're going to bust. and then now I'm talking about the language, huh? Okay. Or maybe the linguists have already talked about this stuff, and it's like one of those deep down secrets. They just keep it down low, waiting for someone with influence. Waiting for someone with actual sentience. Not to say that, that's not true. Or not to say that's false, or that's a lie, or sorry, I'm messing up. I mean, I like this role. I like this position. I'm getting more experience with it. Plus, I'm like a natural at it. Golly. I mean, I just got to keep thinking about history and just talk the talk. But I'm still working on cutting through, cutting down, because I do feel like sometimes it's like having the cup to your ear with a string on it. Even if the weird, odd old music isn't playing in the background. Oh my gosh. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it's not like it just it definitely puts me on a beat. But it also makes me kind of feel like Count Dracula. I don't know how else to say it, honestly. I mean, I think today might be the point in time where I'm good. I don't need sleep. I just need to do it and not talk about it. This could be better. Maybe if I, over the diminishing returns again. Diminishing returns again. I'd rather have control over my thoughts than be pushed around by them. Like a give and take. I guess the only problem here is going to be like my back. Alright, only an hour in? Gosh. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't have anything written down. I don't have anything prepped on what to do and say. I'm just going through it, winging it every day. I suppose I did pre-prep some of the stuff, but pre-prepping some of the stuff is like, slapping your lyrics down onto the page and just remembering it because it was so good. And not like lyrics, because I'm not like trying to write a song here. I did talk about, advancing through these levels, becoming way more poetic than I have ever been before. But still, you know what I'm saying. Everyone has these aspirations, and like drawing too. Even making like a beat, no words. Hey, everyone has those aspirations. I would think, at least. I mean, because me just being, my opinion, I wanted to do that stuff even if I didn't have the ability, And practice makes perfect. Hey, I'm just looking at this like a defense, which is interesting. because I think my defense is pretty strong. But the influence is tackling me, hacking me, chatting me up. It's interesting. And like, even if you're defending, you're gonna have to throw a few, whatevers. I find it interesting, a defense versus an attack. Does that even make sense? I mean, we have games like chess. And I'm pretty sure I'm defending. I'm not attacking here. And I mean, if we go back, and it is a hard subject, I'm sure. And people can change. Don't say, dogs are stuck in their old ways. People can definitely change. And so can animals. Neuroplasticity? Plasticity? What is it called? But then I start looking at it like it's already pre-built. You just got to go into the config again. And like I said, let's talk about this. Do we go to like Romeo and Juliet? Do we go to like a one person's more likely to be killer than the others? Because it would seem to me like we can just break up the influence a bit. We could see who's defending and who's attacking. And like, that's really writing into something, like etching it into time now. Like permanence. Good Lord. I don't know, careful for the disguise, careful for the red herrings. Careful for the masks, that they're always wearing. I can say we on that too. We, this is gonna be super fun. I'm probably freaking standing up. No, I'm serious though. For real, for real. I mean, I'll show you a real good defend. This is great. Especially if there is technology. Oh. Ooh, what was that? I gotta wake my backpack up too? Whoa, slow down, man. Alright, well, let me go away. I'm gonna break. I'm gonna roll like a ball, I swear, please. No, I'm just kidding, I'm back. I was just trolling you like you were to me again. That's what I was, that's a story for another day. Is that tunneling in the brain too much? A little too far? I mean, that's only if people want to play that game. We can get back to the whole Frankenmind. The whole flash images past you. The whole real mind magic again. The whole, wait, he was here, but then he's like invisible, and then he's like rainbow. Was he moving through a box? That was that one game, I forget. I didn't play many of them. Was that Snake? Is that the one character? Or am I off a little bit? The one where he's in a box? Um, I don't know what the hoopla all about that would be. um, that's the character, but when I type that in, the little, you know, um, you know, the snake getting eaten, having fun in a box. Essentially, it makes sense. But then I'm like, wait, this is more alien tech. Wait, I'm seeing it yet again. The confusion is thick here. No. Ay, ay, ay. I wonder if we pull out 21 questions from time to time. See if it still matches up. Ay, ay, ay. Potentially, maybe. It's been years since I looked at one of those. Years. Maybe not more than 10 though. I mean, I'm sure I could find words that'll beat it every time. Excuse me. Maybe, potentially. That's just like the trick, isn't it? Or no? I wonder who invented these things. Golly, I'm serious. Let me see, let me see. This one I'll check. Or maybe no, I'll leave it. Yeah, keep clicking. I don't need to know that information, not yet. I mean, I'm sure it'll be like, maybe like, take your pet to work day again. Maybe one day. Like, oh, this is how you found out your technology. Only now that we're thinking. Maybe it was my inefficiencies first, and lack of being able to get to the jump. All of the proper sights in the mind really being escaping in there. I had one of the most gnarliest emotional spills this morning. I mean, talk about just taking something to the chin. I mean, but it is what it is, you know? They're clearly just now labeled different. Hey, like viewing and not, but street camming. I get it, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I do the same thing, and especially with the jealousy and the 20M clause. I mean, talk about doing well for himself. Ay ay ay. Barapadai tagadai. Manahkanalu who could tapa tutuya. Wakatakatuya. That'll be all the way through the air. I'm over here playing single player. Not.com. It's okay though, because I went into the dream and unplugged everything. And when I unplugged everything, I really started to get eaten by life. And I'm like, shit, might as well plug it back in, huh? That's like again, like Amigo stumbled upon this little ting. Oh, zap zap zappity, zap zap zappity. I start to like. But they never put it back. And I mean it too. When I unplugged it, it was way too bright for one, and I was literally getting eaten, like a Better Call Saul sort of eat. Way too much. Way too much. I plugged that thing back. Somehow I woke back up. Not exactly, but you know what I'm saying. I was getting eaten alive in that dream. Like getting eaten alive by a bunch of zombies. But there was no zombies there. It was just the energy tearing me apart. Pero back in. Ay, ay, ay. That's just like the red button though. You know, I didn't know what I was doing until it's been done. I tried my best. We're level 93. We're getting through to 99 quicker than I ever thought before. I'm 100%. See, I'm looking back to the dream, just golly, and then somehow I woke up from the thing. Some of these dreams I had to go into third-person mode and think like that deeply. Like I knew I was me then and there, but I had to, like, you know, just be empathetic with myself. Like, you'll get through it, buddy. You'll wake up, man, I swear. But that's like, you know, while still being empathetic enough to feel the air. Oh no, it's funny. Very, very funny. The sorry. I look at myself like this must be the image I needed just to be saving things, huh? Like, oh my goodness, I look at myself and like, what in the body malfunction? I'm sorry, I do. But then I started looking and thinking back, even some of the interesting TV shows. Did I talk about like Wizards of Waverly Place? Is that what it was called? I mean, I'll be over here in my own dungeon, I guess. I mean, I'll say I forfeit. I forfeited, I swear. But in the dreams, I did cook. I'm on my way. Me sail set Blanco. That was like me with me pint lock. I got me pint lock. I got me big rock. Me eat your cat, huh? Bachow, bachow. Like a mini Yoda. Knocking your rust face down. Ay, ay, ay. Nice bunker you built. You stepped in my trap, it seems. I mean, that is what it is, though. That influence. Get back, get back. Don't look at it. I mean, I hope you have a good life. That's all I know. I don't wish what I saw. That's for sure. But it does seem like we're in the thick of it. Like the technology when it's the richest. Ay, ay, ay. Step away from it, step away from it. What could have been done for a long time now, huh? Like, come on, you know, if you found it, someone's gonna find it, then they're all gonna find it eventually, right? It's like you get like the fresh start, the pre-takes, the pre-plays, the pre-redos again. I mean, I keep saying I would not want to go out after this whole journey. I would not want to go after this again. You know, I'm at the point of the journey where it's like it's getting better and better. Like the laser was just the start, and like you obviously tell, like obviously it wasn't playing its part. The laser wasn't up to standards. And now this is my delusion in my mind, but I don't remember having like all these landlines going through the head. I mean, yeah, I guess you can do them and show them, but like a husky. And you're gonna tell me like a big old spiraling thing in the top of my scalpy? And I mean, it changes quick and fast, but I mean, holy, that's just what I remember. Who knows? Again, I wasn't in no mirror like blessing me, blessing this, blessing that. But it would be quite an interesting lesson for people to have different patterns like that bad, you know? Like, and not like, what I mean is like have this one general theory, but a few outliers. You know, a few people that just, well, they're lucky. But again, that, you know, could just be my whole delusional thinking, and what I would like to see. Because that almost seems like you're ripping up something from the start. But I mean, if we're playing with technology, then you know that was just to, you know, remember something. Like if technology gets to a little point in time where it becomes like a big time machine, portal hopping, throw your words in, and hopefully you choose the right future again. We're gonna want a good massive minds here to really mix it up, where we're not getting a recreation of like the same sort of weird design. We're gonna want to make sure we went and really just scrubbed the mind. Seriously. Especially if technology becomes like that, and you know, you got to mix the cauldron. You gotta be the one to keep that perpetual. Because if that gets stagnant, then well, geez, that'd be really like hopping into the simulation and forgetting things. That'd be really like, you know, going down a path that you might not come back. If that makes some sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. Basically, we're potentially already in. And I was talking about like remembering back to my sphery sphere. And it's interesting because I did watch Hail Mary, and they had something similar, like I was thinking. But I had thought of that. You know, it's an interesting, especially seeing the sphere in Las Vegas. Um, you know, it would make sense that it could be, you know, just as real as that, especially with some 4D effects. And that's where it gets into like the labels again, because I mean, if you have that technology and you have been like you've been bad, you've been being naughty, you've been steady on that, um, or potentially there's other people with that technology, and they're just masking it, because we have that ability as well, you know, at a greater capability now more than ever. You know, because if they're masking it, um, which is a very good potential as well, you know, I'll hold all of the theories high until I get to the bottom of it. Because then it would just be like actual, like, dang, someone's really like actually following me like that, and they don't even care. They've just been doing it, and I've been like scared. Like they've just been doing it, and I've been so fried in the mind I don't even want to sleep here. And like that's after, like when I went to the mental health facility, I didn't poop or pee, and I had to go back a few times to even do those things. Like that's how much my body was rejecting that place. That's how much my body was uncomfortable. And I mean, I'm doing these things here, but some days I go without. Some days I just don't. And that technology again. And I've been trying to realign my body responses, and if technology and someone's just, you know, in that uh, right time, wrong place, I mean, I'm sure you would feel it. Like, I'm sure you would feel like that's not what you're meant to be doing. Or you would feel that it is. But I'm over here, like, extremely terrified of it. and I've gone over this. It's hard to be in a place mentally, because being a virgin, you know, I'm gonna love losing it to someone after I've like been losing it for like the past like 6-7 years to random ghosts or whatever they are. Like, and I have that like in my mind, and it's extremely disheartening. Extremely. Like, I'm gonna love it to death, just like how I was getting strangled in bed. Me bot followers are so loyal to I. I mean, I could see like, me bot followers are so loyal to I. Rob them all the time. It's just something like that. Although, you know, I would, but yeah, just I just like lie. Hi, Shy. Ah, good girl. Ah, bubbles. Girl. It's messy. It's messed up, messy, and a huge shame all at the same time. But no shame, like, it's not intended. Okay, sure. It's oh so coincidental. It way too much ruins and messes with the vibe. Imagine trying to tune me like a radio. When I already think about that all the time. I mean, that would be really like finding a whole new language to speak in again. Super Sada Ritarana Bitagana Hutahana Jipakana Manabana Banatana Wanadana Kanta Hanta Butalanta Uper Duder retirees of the Unten Society. I had to look down at the keyboard for a sec. Even if it was just a little bit of a babble interjection. Ay, ay, ay. I want it sooner. I want it sooner. I couldn't lunar. I don't want to be saying like I'm sounding like I'm, saying bad words, like from the down under. That's like their subset, right? But I was saying it with an O, not a U. Especially without the I. Or I said with. Ah. Jeez. That was already set up for me. Yikes. That was looking too in depth. That was getting like a set of these. Maybe you're getting my perspective. It would be hard to check. And maybe we really connected. I think that's an interesting theory of mine. It's very possible, I'm sure. Extremely. I'm sure, honestly, like, I have to talk about this because it made me mad. Whoever opened me up and messed with me, messed with my manly female side of the parts. So I can mentally get how people would be confused in life, and want to swap genders. Because whoever's been messing around, they were able to find whatever, and even spots and mess with them. And I mean, it felt like I had the whole thing. So it's quite the mind messery. Mess with my whole everything. And like, talk about being like just stunned in the body, like mouth open while everything is happening. But that would, like I said, like that's just me. Like I put that back away. Like I felt ground again. Because it was messed up. Like especially like when it became like an overlay on my vision. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was odd for sure. It's definitely odd to be a dude and feel female parts. Like female parts, it's like not mine. I can say what it does do. It makes me, want to stay a dude. especially having after done that. Even if I did talk about the end of life experiment, if nothing, if if olive is just confused as lettuce, then the loaf would be like cheese again. I don't know. Um, it would have to be iceberg though, like the 0 calorie stuff. The zero nutrition, the negative nutrition one. I talked about those stale calories. I mean, it's a hell of an experiment until I find a new energy source. I at least got to the point where I think I should speak, and hopefully everything comes together like a good plan. Time works in mysterious ways. I see it time and time again too. Constantly. Like it's progressing as it should. Introducing the time lock, that's like I said about us being in a timeless place. Those are like blank spots I can put on myself just to not look like a show off. And get myself potentially hurt. Nobody needs me showing off. At least not like to the point of accidentally hurting myself. Hopefully it's good food for thought. I don't want you running around like you got something that's too hot to drop. I do find the progression very interesting. When I was going through throat pops, I feel like they're weird. Because going through throat pops, I was going through like the robotic mode as well. So it was quite the pathway back to actually, myself. But clearly, myself is also not all here. But I like to point fingers still. Like say, hey, come get that back. When I could just potentially just move on to another that's readier. They're readier or ready. They're a lot more ready. The word was just easier to say than more ready. And I'm trying to think about it now. Again, it's almost like a twin twister. Maybe these are banned words. Upon blister, a blister pack. I didn't know those were called blister packs until I realized. I had quite the blister packs. Should I talk about hemorrhoids? Those are gnarly. Talk about having something, and some of them were ritualistically sent to me. Like I could feel it, like someone was messing around down there. Now that is, as the theory grows. But I was doing my own little thing in the backyard, and then all of a sudden, maybe I must have stepped on don't do that in the mind sort of thing. But they they were affirmative in their formation and how they blocked me up. I've had many of them messed up. But it's almost like I can feel when they're on the rise. It's messed up. I can also equate that to, an unhealthy diet as well. Because I never had these things. At least not like until after regaining weight. Gnarly stuff, not to like gross anyone out, but geez, educational wise, they suck, and you just sort of have to wait for them. I compare them, I suppose, to like a nice gnarly blister or a boil. Not a blister, it's a boil. A blister is like from a burn, right? Although I don't know, there are some gnarly things. Medical definitions, I don't know. They get. We're gonna have to examine this. We get the close up here. No. Yep, it looks like a weight issue to me. I'm sure like 90% of the doctors out there that have been in the field, that's like the go-to. If anything else. It just makes sense. We're not meant to be big old heifers. Should I talk about like age and youth? Oh, my fat keeps me plush. And then now like I'll have loose skin. I've definitely seen some of the skin bounce back. But loose skin, yeah. But then like that's like the perfect place for muscle to be, right? Like actual healthy muscle. I don't know. I'm lazy when it comes to picking things up, putting them down. I was a lot more active in the apartment. Um, that was before I guess hopping back into the mental too, though. Because when I lost weight, I was free, feeling the best I've ever felt in my life. I mean, it's an interesting time and place to be like doing that then. I mean, this has fucky written all over it. And this is super fucky. Like just super nonchalant fucky. I mean, I'll show you how to I'll show you how to really kink shame, huh? I mean, that's what it must be, I guess. I mean, if I can't get what I want, but you're getting plenty, then this is like an uneven thing. Like this is like must be why my image is like draining. I mean, I don't want to have any rude awakenings overnight. That would be messed up. I mean, if I gotta get my hair back and we'll go back to putting a wig on you like Dalima, I mean, that might just be what it ends up being. That might be one of the potentials, who knows? I mean, my grandma, God bless her, she had cancer, but her hair grew back. And she had like the chemo treatments and everything. And then I look at that stuff. Is that through the mother's side or the father's side? I thought that was through the maternal, not the paternal. At least the hair part. Not 100% sure. But is it through the dad's side of the maternal or the mom's side of the maternal? But that would again just be looking at that theory. I mean, I talked about dousing myself with my own concoction, thinking like that's gonna start to regrow. That's gonna cause new growth. I mean, like I said though, like shattering a glass, maybe I just need to like just vibe like that. Just for a second or two, who knows? Like give my body like an earthquake that it needs. Get away from it. Who knows? Shattering a glass. That sounds fun. I've never been able to try and do that. I don't have like a glass. I would have to, you know. Oh. Is that normally a female thing, or can dudes do it too? I actually don't know. I've tried to ring crystal glass before. That's fun. I didn't try it too much, but I mean I at least, you know, got a little bit. I saw that one piano one time. I think it was a piano. The glass one. That's wild. I mean, talk about having a soft touch. Or, you know, a gentle one. Wow. Cicadas. So noisy. What's my right hip? Like it just really hurt when I bent in. I'm afraid of my hips. Ugh. Especially when I lost weight, I talked about that. I started ignoring that place though, like, because I only felt it when I had my hand against it. I just know the hips aren't really supposed to pop, not like when you walk. Ay, ay, ay. And then I can compare it to, like, you know, being overweight again. Um, but I would have really have never known. Um, like given the big heifer stance, like, yeah, maybe my body just needs to be bigger and more muscle. Fudge. No, it's funny, honestly, truly, because I've been leveling out. But it's gonna be like one of those things, I swear. Like doing the handsmaid tale and then calling me grave digger on the motherfucking elevator. Ay ay ay. And your name's Janine? Even if I misheard it, God bless, it was pretty surreal. Pretty sure I asked for a second time, like, huh? I mean, and I never talked to you. That was like a not you sort of day. Like that was like the time I called out Ajane. She knew what she was doing though. We were having a hiccup war. Like it was funny. That's not funny at all. I'll be so honest. That's not funny at all. And I talked about, let me see, watch him lose his grip. I was thinking about that to myself. I mean, talk about really surfing. I know I'm gonna be fine. I mean, I'm gonna be as fine as I can be. Jeez. I mean, I've seen all these signs, these warnings, you know, like the precautionaries. Plus, watching it with my grandma firsthand. That was more than a wake up. And I had wanted to lose weight many times. I'll keep talking about it until I'm actually losing stuff again. I'm going through hots and many things. I started getting hots when I was at the lowest weight. And I don't know exactly, so that was on keto, but then I started going back to sugar. I don't know. But again, maybe it's like the breathing techniques. I can blame smoking weed. I can blame nicotine. But I've also quit and still had hots. It could be maybe my body finally found that homeostasis. Or maybe like beaming me with the laser, I can bring that back up. You know, I did somehow, my body ingested it through the urethra. When my body must have said it's had enough. You know, find the body's breaking point and it ate it. And I mean, maybe there's people out there that are like, I like this kind of burn. This is good. This is the motivation that we all use still over here. And when you come over here, then you're still gonna feel the burn, or you should. And then maybe if not, we're gonna test you, like an alien you would be. Like we would be in the wild, it seems. I'm so not joking around. I'm more serious now than ever. to a certain point. Especially if all it takes is a walk by. A little different perspective. It's starting to heat up. These devices might shut off. Not 100% sure, but you know, pre-warn for everyone. It's only 1:30. 2. Now it's 3. Ba da da ba. Where's that happy at? Careful now. Ooh, and the burp. Right onto the vape tip. Ew. While I'm inhaling. I'm practicing the art of state right now. I'm getting into my dream state. Yay. That's a bumpy ride. Stop. Golly. I maybe fudge. I mean, I guess without communication, how is anyone gonna know? Time for my siesta. I mean, it's getting close. We need at least 2 more seats, at least. 11,095 is where we're at. If I can get 2K crystal shards, I think I'm in a good place, right? Because I think 2K is what I need for like the upgraded bow or something like that. Crystal ball, crystal ball. I mean, I was thinking if I like just take this like bing bang bongo, you know, that eventually like just like the void gear, like I'll use it, and if I don't, at least I accomplished it. And I could always liquidate, I suppose. Liquidate. That's weird as hell. Quite the body response though, I guess. Like sounding the alarms. I mean, it's like the perfect line of defense. Is there a metabolism cheat code? Is that something that's maybe locked up for now? I gotta do it the natural way. Put some muscle on me. That's like the cheat code, isn't it? But then I'll still be thinking like, dang, as the theory grows, I got my scimitar band muscles that are just slowly, you know, don't want to bust them. Scimitars, I am. Silly, but I don't know. Funny. But that's like coincidental things that just happen to work out. But that is like one cheat code, right? That's just one of them. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know why, but I was just thinking about Onverse right now. Onverse. It was like a virtual world. That's what I played after BMK. Onverse. That was fun. And that was an interesting game. I just looked it up. Apparently, did it shut down? I always liked the snowball fight. That was my jam. I mean, you had to have some skill to play that. There was some skill involved. And I mean, I wasn't the best. But it was still fun. Oh, is it still here? Kind of looks like it. Oh, then there's the Revival Project. It's been revived. January 7th, 2018. Security issues and financial difficulties. Uh-oh. But yeah, that was a fun little virtual game that I played growing up. I didn't play it for too long, but I don't know, there was some fun stuff like the maze. You know, I had to eventually memorize that. And like, you know, I was, you know, come follow me, I got you. That was me before. Like I was like, I got you. I didn't do all the things, you know. I was still adventuring, and I wasn't like, you know, YouTubing what to do. But it was a fun little open world thing. I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, like BMK. Like I was just getting into magical checkers. It was magical checkers, right? I mean, I'm sure the generations growing up would have liked these games a lot more than no Roblox. Come on. I mean, I could just see like, you know, if they would still be around, the innovation that would have been implemented. I'm sure of it. But that's like a whole different thing. I can only imagine what was happening behind the scenes. That's sort of like World of Warcraft. You know, it was a funny thing, but then like one day coming home from school, I log in and my account's been like used for bots. And like it just made me think like, geez, security problems. Like, and I was young. But yeah, logging on and being in Ungoro Crater or wherever it was. I think actually, yeah. It was either there or the one time, because that would be around Wrath of the Lich King. Maybe there was a mix-up. I don't know. It was either Ungoro Crater or the place up in Winterland, whatever, in Wrath of the Lich King area, that expansion. It's been a while since I picked WoW up. I started losing the lore. Northrend. Solazar Basin. That's where it was. I was the account was being used in minor, I think. I feel like it happened a couple times though. Not 100% sure, but we got the authenticator pretty quickly after. But like, just thinking about that, you know. To me, it was like free gold. You know, just logged on, oh, free gold. Someone was using my account to buy it. It scared me though, but you know, I mean, what am I gonna do about it? As the theory grows. What in the world? Maybe I should just go crawl back into the time machine. Maybe this wasn't the right code's input after all. I mean, maybe I'll get to the point where I'm really like into the act and I'm losing it, but by losing it, I'm becoming it. And you'll really see me back. But that's like a maybe, you know. That's like me tantalizing it. What's that? I think if I whip 24 hours out on this elf, then that's gonna be like, that's profit, right? It has to be. It's gotta be guaranteed. I made sure to clear storage on the phone. I'll cut it off at least 12 hours, or at max. Careful. Whoopsie daisies. My brain flip flops a lot. But I know what's, you know, like weighing something. But that can even be odd. So visually, you know, but then I'm gonna have to get my hands dirty again and count. I just know my right hand's like missing temporarily right now. I'm about to dig into the dish. What do you see? There was this one time, only one time I've been at a campfire and really tripped while looking into it. Like I was seeing words being drawn into the wood and everything. It was quite the experience. Maybe it was me. I don't know. I was like wide open eyes, like everything, you know, like I don't know. It was completely like dark outside, like a proper, you know, other than the fire lighting up things. So it was like I don't know. But I only mentioned that because, you know, it's not like now where I'm like, and then plus looking in the mirror like, whoa, my eyes, like, it can get kind of wide. I don't want them to fall out of my head. I do not. Not that I look at some of this stuff like hogwash, but I just have to, you know, take a step back for a sec. And I can't even say for entertainment. Because some of this stuff is, you know, actual. You know, I can always say as the theory grows, I suppose. Ay, ay, ay. Na 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 dee, na 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 do. Wah, hee, wow, ho. Let's go. Throw some good old American bangers in there. Right on. Tons of time to experiment, I bet. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it seems like my respawn point here was pretty camped. Heavily camped. Hopefully it's camouflaged yet again. If the technology ever comes and rises up, then I'll definitely have some acts to be disguised into. Talk about blending in. Have you gotten that laser working yet? Reworked it to how it should be? I'm ready for it again. I mean, I felt the potential with it, I'll be honest. But maybe it did need some tweaking. I mean, I slept with it while completely at what I thought was max, so I see some potential in it, okay? Like going on an amusement ride the first time. Ay, ay, ay. I'm laughing because which one of me is speaking right now? No. I mean, it's not funny, right? Because now, like, no is gonna be yes every time, and that's like stupid, you know. You're not always gonna want to see like a external visual thing to give you a cue, like, oh, slower, whoa, maybe too much, oh, not to puncture you. Like, ooh, that is real tissue there. Maybe I do need to get into some suspension. Who knows? I don't know, like science again. You know what's been discovered, or is that just another like a think tank? I was messing with these a little bit too much this morning, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. I didn't realize, but it felt like I was fighting like the breath of death. Like, it was quite the experience. And I never, did anything like that when I was smoking PG and VG. But whatever this is different. Maybe this should potentially, maybe, because if the females, that they're like, well, this is this for this and that and that's and that and this is this and this and that, and maybe we're juicing up some recipes. But hoily soily, I've been watching. Take a dab on that. I mean, because, hey, that's fair, right? My mom did also have her voice problem, though, that she fixed via the PG and VG, and I was mixing it with the nicotine at the time as well, so. Um, so I can't take that away from her. And she hasn't touched these. Like, even when, like, she smelt them, that's it. Um, yeah. Converse, I forget if they had cars the whole time or if that was like a paid thing, but I know when they got cars, um, like that's about the time that I left, if that was the case. Because I think maybe it was an expansion sort of thing. Um, that was just the last thing I had about that game. That was the replacement for VMK. There were other games like that were tried, but nothing was the same. And I wasn't even too big into other people's houses. But when I did start discovering that, people were crafty, people were creative, making really cool designs. And then there were also the artists too, like they were like painting pictures and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe that's why kind of maybe Arcade hit me so good, because in Arcade there was a lot of role players, and not like, but like politics, things like that. It's a fun community, because I guess like the server size and things like that, you start to know people, recognize their names, reputation, things like that, and that happens on World of Warcraft too. But it's like a bigger zoo. Arcade, you could put things on your sale, like the pictures that you wanted. uh, It was fun. But those dirty hackers, those dirty bots. I mean, it is sort of what makes kind of like the under economy run, in a way. Fudge. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. Sometimes maybe they crunch numbers. Who knows? Maybe. Ah, they're taking that as like a career path. Golly. I don't know. Arcade was obtainable. Even like if they say pay to win, I didn't buy gold. At least not on the last fresh start. Yeah. It was obtainable. Because, you know, you could have your stuff, your duckies all in a line and still get stuff done. It's fun. You create a little cycle of wealth that you just repeat. The Steam server was fun, full of rookies, our first timers. Oh, it's on Steam, sweet. Only one server? I don't know exactly how it worked, but I think it was the Steam server. I was using the launcher. But yeah, with the trade runs, things like that, it made it possible. Like if you were crunching the numbers yourself, just like seeing like and comparing, just like kind of like going for the crystal armor. It's probably not the best option, but it's a option. Because like, you know, I'm killing a few birds with one stone. Those sort of moves with time. And that's just a basic one, because, you know, I'd rather do this instead of just sitting around. And there was plenty of things in arcades that I never even tried, you know, that were well worth the time. But hey, that's like really, really try hard. I did good for myself. But put in way too much time. Put in a lot of effort. A lot of grind. And other dude was possibly legit too. Although if he wasn't legit, then, you know, he was definitely a little bit off of the cusp, off of the balance of what's possible. But I started thinking about it. You know, it was potential that, you know, he did things legit. There was the very, very, very high potential, actually, extremely high. Because I was just lazy as hell. Once you start doing coal runs, then, like, you know, you get all those maxed out gems like easy peasy, like within a week, more than likely. But maybe a couple weeks, a month max. But that's like your whole gear set. You're never gonna have to go back. That is with like a trade ship. You know, you gotta have the merchant ship. But hey, on the Steam server, it was just like, you know, go on your way of find geared lad. No, they made it real simple. As soon as you got into the port, it was safe. So it was like, come on, where's the PvP? I felt like the pirating system got a little bit too punishing. Like when I'm up at the Elite Raptors trying to just get free gold, and people are interested, even though there were many spots. Um, I felt like I had one of the best, at least for the gear. I don't know. I'm sure that that rotated. Um, I don't know. I was able to kill them before the respawn point, or like as they were. It was fun. I was like the most geared I've been. I just racing through. Um, yeah. I think technically I did cheat a little bit. Did I have 5 accounts? Uh, 2 of them were like a Lendies. Oh no, that was, I think I just, was that a different fresh start? Maybe not. I think no, I think that was the same one. But I just used their. Did I use their labor? I know I used their house. But that was like friends quitting out. But that does become a big advantage, especially in like arcade. And not, it depends on especially what you're doing. But yeah, in the start it's fun. I don't know. It's not too bad. Merchant ships doing the underwater sunken treasures. I mean, that's fun. It's a little time consuming, but it's fun. Like if you got labor that you just needed to use. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. There were like skilled people, like really, people that brought their skills to the table. I never asked, but I saw some real smarties. Some real smarties. Um, it pays to be smart. That's for sure. But I guess that only goes so far. hmm In game and in the real world. I feel like the options as well for classes sort of became limited. I don't know when it was at its most balanced. Um, Probably the first when it first came out. I didn't play it as long as I should have. Ooh, temperature warning. Yikes. It's about that time. At least the phone's good. It is about that time. I might as well. Wrap things up here. I don't know. Be back in like 2 or 3 hours again. Even though I said I was going to be back in 2 or 3 hours again when the phone storage was full, I'm like, yeah, I'll just let this YouTube video upload. I'll be back in 2 or 3 hours. I took an extreme like nap. Like I woke up at around 9, but that's probably maybe like 4:30, around 5 to 9. I mean, that's still. I mean, even if it was 4:15, I didn't go right to sleep. There was a lot of tossing and turning. But still, it's not. It was a nap. It was sleep. It's not what I said I was going to do. Though. Like I said, I might just have to get just super angry at myself. How is my body being influenced so well? How is my body being controlled like Pinocchio? Um, and just not sleep and try and go through the brain as best as I can and wake that side of me up. Yeah. Only 14 seeds. 11,450 elves. Alright, I'm logging out.